We've heard scary stories, and then there are stories like this one that will haunt your waking nightmares. Welcome back, everybody. Today I'll be reading a terrifying tale from our subscribers. This series is part of our community-driven content, where the stories are shared by real people and inspired by actual events. Let's get right into the story. What is the scariest or strangest night you've ever had that you still can fully explain? I don't post much, but this one night has stuck with me for years, and even now I still don't really know how to explain it. Back in 2018, I was living in a small college town. I didn't have a car, so I usually walked everywhere. Classes, the store, even late-night walks when I needed to clear my head. My campus sat right next to a big patch of woods. Everyone warned me not to walk through there at night, but I always brushed it off as college kid exaggeration. One Thursday night, around 11:30 p.m., I was walking back from a friend's dorm. Instead of taking the lit sidewalks, I cut through the wooded trail like I always did. It was quiet, a little chilly, and I had my headphones in. About halfway down the trail, I got this weird sensation. Not fear, but the sudden awareness that I wasn't alone. I paused my music and just listened. At first, nothing. Then faintly, I heard footsteps. Not directly behind me, but somewhere parallel, like in the trees to my right. They weren't fast, but they matched my pace. I stopped. They stopped. I walked again. They walked again. My first thought was that it was just another student, but when I looked carefully, I couldn't see anyone. The path had dim lamps, but the woods were pitch black. My phone flashlight barely cut through it. Trying to shake it off, I sped up. That's when I heard it. Not just footsteps, but a low whistle. It was soft, almost playful, like someone trying to get a dog's attention. The sound came from the woods to my right, about 15-20 feet in. At this point, every alarm in my body went off. I didn't want to look again, but curiosity got the better of me. I shined my phone's light into the trees, scanning slowly. For a split second, I swear I saw a figure. Tall, thin, and completely still. The second the light hit, the whistling stopped. I froze. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Then from the other side of the path, I heard leaves crunching, like something circling me. I bolted. Full sprint down the path, not looking back. My backpack was slamming against me, my lungs burning, but I didn't stop until I saw the streetlights ahead. I burst out of the woods and into the empty street. No footsteps, no whistle, nothing. Just silence. When I finally made it to my dorm, I locked the door, sat on the floor, and just tried to breathe. I told myself it was probably just someone messing with me. But deep down, I knew something about that night wasn't normal. For weeks after that night, I avoided the wooded path completely. I stuck to the lit sidewalks, even if it meant adding 15 extra minutes to my walk. I didn't tell anyone about it at first because, honestly, I didn't want to sound paranoid. But a month later, I heard something that made my blood run cold. I was in the dining hall with two friends, and this girl at the next table was telling her roommate about a weird guy in the woods. She said she was walking back from class one evening and heard someone whistling from the trees. When she turned her head, she thought she saw a man crouching, just barely visible between the branches. She ran, and when she glanced back, he was still there, watching. My fork froze halfway to my mouth. I asked her what the whistle sounded like, and when she mimicked it, I felt sick. It was the exact same sound I'd heard. I finally told my friends my story, and we all agreed it was probably some local creep. But here's the thing. A couple of weeks after that, campus security sent out a mass email. Apparently, several students had reported strange encounters near the woods. Footsteps, whistling, someone following them at night. They even said one girl swore she saw two different people shadowing her from opposite sides of the path. Security increased patrols, and the school even put up signs warning students not to walk the trail after dark. For a while, things seemed to calm down. Then, right before winter break, something happened that still gives me nightmares. I had a late study session at the library. When I left, the sidewalks were empty, the campus dead quiet. I was halfway to my dorm when I heard it again. The whistle. Not from the woods this time, but faintly. Behind me. I froze. Every instinct screamed not to turn around, but I couldn't help it. Slowly, I glanced over my shoulder. About 30 feet back, Under a lamp was a figure. Tall, skinny, and just standing there. I couldn't make out his face, but I could see his head tilt slightly, like he knew I'd spotted him. He didn't move closer. He just stood there, whistling. I ran. My legs felt like concrete, but I forced myself not to stop until I reached my dorm. When I finally slammed the door shut, I peeked through the lobby window. Nobody. The street was completely empty. After that night, I never walked alone after dark again. Campus security never caught anyone, and eventually the reports died down. Some people thought it was just rumors or some homeless guy messing around. But I know what I heard. I know what I saw. And the worst part? That whistle sometimes slips